Good day, good day, good day. You guys should be able to hear me now. I've been told that we were having some audio issues, but hopefully that should all be solved right about now. This is the joy of having a dream team who can literally support you on your journey to make sure you go further, faster. Now, guys, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you guys exactly why I've decided to do this video and this series of videos. Straight after that, I'm going to jump straight into the content so we waste no time whatsoever. Now, I've put the comment on the screen. Wherever you are tuning in from, go into the live chat and let us know where you're tuning in from. If you are tuning in from the UK, let me know. If you're tuning in from the US of A, I literally just flew back from the USA today, let me know in the chat. And the reason why I'm asking you to let me know is so that I can tailor make the language to you. So whether you're on the continent of Africa, whether you're in the continent of Europe, whether you're in the UK, whether you're in the US of A, let us know in the live chat. And if you're someone watching this on the replay, just write hashtag replay in the comments and let us know this is for you. Now, here's the two questions I want to start with. The first question is, how many of you, if you knew what was stopping you from moving forward in your property investment journey, would change it? If you would change the situation, just say I would in the chat, okay? If you're someone who's been trying to invest in property for the last 2, 3, 4 years and you're finding you're not making the progress you want to make, if that's you, I'm asking you that question. If you could uncover the master key that's been holding you back, that was holding me, would you actually change it? Would you use that key? Would you allow that key to open the door for sure for you to get more than you bargained for? That's a question you got to ask yourself, because there are so many people who, even if they found the solution, they wouldn't actually use it. Here's the second question I'm going to ask you. If I uncover for you guys throughout the series of these videos all of the things you need, okay, and I'm going to explain to you, you literally need 4 things. I'm going to break down each and every one of those 4 things, maybe even today in the introduction, but definitely over the course of these live stream videos. If you would take these keys and you would utilize them to maximize your property investment journey, if that's you, just write the word me in the chat. Now, the reason I want you guys to tell me the answer is because I and my team have said to ourselves, we're going to put this content out there for you guys to help you move further, faster in your property investment journey. But here's the reality, guys. If we put this content out and you're not going to use it, then it becomes pointless. And we do not want to create content that is pointless. So this is the exact reason why we're putting this content together in this way, shape, and form in order to help you move further, faster in your property investment journey. Now, without further ado, I'm going to jump straight into the content, all right? And I did share this earlier, but again, the audio wasn't working at the time. If you guys would like us to make available any of the resources that we are going to be showing you as we go through these trainings, all you have to do is say I want it inside of the live chat whilst you're with me, and yes, the live chat will be on screen, or you can say I want it inside of the replay chat once you are watching this on a replay. Hashtag replay I want it. And what we'll do is me and my team will get together, and the specific resource I'm about to unravel to you guys in literally a moment, you guys will be able to get access to it. Now listen, it's not going to be made available for free. All right, it's not going to be made available for free. Excuse me. And the reason we're not making it available for free is because a lot of time, energy, and effort goes into creating these resources, usually for my high-level coaching students. All right, but we will make this available for those of you who are tuning in on the replays and also on the live streams if you desire this once I reveal it to you. So without further ado, let's jump straight in. I'm going to explain to you guys why I'm doing what I'm doing, and then straight after that, we are going to jump straight into this first resource I'm going to be sharing with you guys. Now, you guys let me know in the live chat with a yes if you guys can see, if you guys are able to see the big banner, the master key to property. If you guys are able to see the big banner, the master key to property, just say I see in the chat so I know you guys are with me. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to jump straight into this because I don't want to delay, I don't want to waste any time, and I want to make sure that I add as much value to you guys as I can within the time allotted. So with that being said, let me explain very quickly how we got about to actually doing this. I got my man Jeffrey in the house. Jeffrey, it's been a while. I pray that you are doing well, but it's great to have you on the session as well. All right, cool. Let's go deeper, right? So the first thing is this, right? From time to time, I meet property investors who are either starting out, that means they've got between 0 and 3 properties, or they're what we call financially free-ish. Okay, the financially free-ish. Okay, so I call them the FFs, the financially free-ish. Now, who are the budding property investors? They are people who are typically between the age 30, maybe 40. They've started their corporate job, they're working full time, and they're saying to themselves, hold on a minute, I can see that property is the path for me. I can see that even if I get to the top of this work environment, I'm never going to be financially free, but I can also see properties for me. And as a result, they're interested in property, but maybe they don't know how to do it properly. Why? Because they don't teach property investing in school. It's not their fault, it's just the way it is. The second group of people that I generally find myself helping are people who I call the financially free-ish. These people own 5 or more properties, and typically each of those properties are generating £200-300 per month. So they might be generating £2,000 to £3,000 per month from their portfolio, but they've realized they will need 30, 40, 25, 60, a large amount of these properties in order to replace their income. Now, one of the things I help people do, and I haven't even introduced myself, which is absolutely crazy. So great big welcome. If it's your first time meeting me, my name is Samuel I Can Win Ikimwin. I help people who are part-time property investors create consistent and then colossal cash flow using resources and revenues hidden in plain sight. In fact, whilst other people out there who call themselves teachers say that they'll help you become financially free, within 6 to 10 years, me and my team help you do that within 3 to 12 months. So if that's of value to you, just write the word value in the chat so I know that you are in the right place and in the right space. Now, I want to congratulate every single one of you guys for taking the opportunity to join this live stream. And those of you who are watching this on a replay, I want to congratulate you for taking the opportunity to watch this content, because this content is going to literally set your property investment goals free as long as you follow through what I'm going to be sharing with you in this training. Now, as mentioned, I often come across people who are making £200-300 a month, and they say to me, Samuel, you know what, if only I could understand how to make property work for me. And I say to them, look, this is simple. All you need is the master key. And most of them don't understand what the master key is. Let me explain. A master key is a singular key that opens multiple doors. You see, when I first started my property investment journey, I thought that I wanted to go into development. Then I took a step back and I said, hold on a minute, what if I don't want to do development? What if I want to do something else besides development? And then I had some other ideas. I was like, okay, look, all these people are doing buy to let. Maybe I should do buy to let, okay? And that was my big plan. Maybe I should just do buy to let. And then I said to myself, well, hold on a minute. If I'm not going to do buy to let, maybe I should do commercial real estate. Maybe I should do commercial property. Well, here it goes. Here's the bombshell. Here's the master key. The master key to property is you have to first find a property. If someone understands that, write that in the chat. I have to first find a property. You see, it does not matter what strategy I've decided. It doesn't matter if I've decided that I'm going to be doing lease options. It doesn't matter if I decided I'm going to be doing rent to rent. It doesn't matter if I decide I'm going to be doing development, buy to let, or any other strategy. Here's the thing that you guys need to understand. Every strategy starts with finding a property. The problem for most people is they don't realize that where the miracle actually happens in property is not when you sell the property. It's not when you choose the strategy. It's when you find the property. Someone write that in the chat. I must first find a property. And it's because of this that a number of years ago, I created a program and a literal blueprint, which I give away for free. I give the blueprint away for free. We charge at retail prices £4,200 for the program, because this stuff really helps people get unstuck, which is called the Sourcing Blueprint. Now, what I did with my team is I said to my team, listen, I want to help a whole bunch more people in this year. And the way I'm going to be able to help a whole bunch more people this year is by creating an interactive version of the program so we can literally help more people move further, faster in their property investment journey. If that sounds like a good idea, someone write the word good in the chat. So here's exactly what we're going to do as we jump into today's session. I'm going to unravel for you guys for the absolute first time. This has never been shared with anyone in public. And the reason why is because my high-end students, generally, we work through this without even sharing this. But I'm going to unravel for you guys I'm going to say it one more time, I'm going to say it one more time, the exact framework for you guys to have for yourself. So all you got to do is revisit these videos and you will have the framework. Now, if you're someone who says, Samuel, I want it, what we will do is we'll actually make this whole interactive resource available to you guys for a fee. Okay, there will be a charge associated, but if you guys want it, it's not going to cost you £50,000 like my 12-month coaching program. All right, we will make it available for you for a reasonable investment. Now, it's also not going to cost you £444 like our cash flow creation challenge. All right, for those of you who for some reason haven't been able to join that challenge or been able to join one of our coaching programs, but you still want to get the value, this is for you. So let me turn on my demonstration window so you guys can see exactly what we're doing out here, and this is going to help you guys get ready for us to jump into today's session. And I should be doing this properly. Hopefully I'm doing this properly. There you go. You guys should be able to see. Now, on screen, what we have right now is exactly what I'm going to be utilizing in order to help you guys. This is the interactive resource. This is the sourcing blueprint mind map. Someone just write the word mind map in the live chat. Now, this sourcing blueprint mind map has basically taken over 2 years to develop and put together in order to show you guys the intricacies of the aspects of the sourcing blueprint. Now, those of you who have never heard of the sourcing blueprint, the word sourcing literally means to find great property deals and to sell them to other people or keep them to or for yourself. Okay, now I created the sourcing blueprint, which was an ebook a number of years ago, but I never realized that if I actually turned that ebook into something way more interactive, way more deep dive, it will be able to help way more people. So what I did is I created this and I started using it with my coaching clients, and for the first time, as I shared, I'm now unraveling it to you guys. Now look, I can literally see so many people who are hitting the like button on this video. That shows me that you guys are literally loving this already. All right, so let's jump straight into this because I don't want to waste any time. I'm going to go through the whole introduction on this video, and then on our next subsequent live videos that we will be doing, we're probably going to be doing them at Friday at 4 o'clock, just like today's, but we may not do them weekly. So you're going to have to subscribe. Hit subscribe. If you're not subscribed already, hit subscribe to this channel. Turn on the bell notifications, right? So you can make sure you get notified every time we go live with this content. Because I don't want you telling me, oh, Samuel, I missed video 3 or I missed video 4. Okay, these videos are for you. They're not for me. I didn't make these videos for me. I'm making these videos for you. If that sounds good, someone write the word good in the live chat as we jump in. So as mentioned to you guys, what this is the sourcing blueprint mind map. For the first time, we have literally made this available for you guys to see this in real life. And as I've said, if you want this, all you have to write in the chat is I want it, and that includes you guys watching on the replay. Just write I want it, and we will literally make this available for you guys to get your own copy so you can work with it as you want. So this is the sourcing blueprint mind map. So what we're going to do in this mind map is we're not going to go through all of the phases that are part of the sourcing blueprint, which you guys can all see on the screen, because all of these phases, you can get the broad overview by going to sourcingblueprint.com right now. If you go to sourcingblueprint.com, you can literally go and find all of the framework. But if you want the in-depth interactive, then you are in the right place. Congratulations. So let's jump into our introduction. First thing I'm going to share with you guys is who this is not for. So I want you to pay a lot of attention to this, because if this content is not for you, you don't need to waste your time, boo. Let's go. The first person this content is not for, this is not for anyone who's looking for get rich quick schemes. Okay, now look, let me even say this. If you're watching this content and you're thinking, Samuel, this is extremely valuable already, you haven't even been going for 25 minutes yet, I want you to literally hit share on this video so more people can be made aware of the value we are about to share. So the first person this is not for is this is not for anyone who's looking for get rich quick schemes. This is not for anyone who has more money than they have sense. If you're one of those people who've got tons of money and got very minute levels of sense, listen, this is not for you. This is not for anyone who knows everything. Okay? Has anyone met any of those people? If you've ever met any of those people, just write in the chat, I have. Okay? Because I used to be a teacher. I've spent a lot of time with people who know everything. Let me tell you something. This is not for them. Okay? This is also not for anyone who's not teachable. Because as I go through this mind map, what's going to be happening is I'm going to be showing you stuff that you've probably never heard of as it pertains to finding great property deals. And if you're serious about moving further faster in your property investment, guess what? You're going to want to find great property deals. But the reality is, if you're not teachable, you won't be reachable. You see, you have to become teachable in order for the information we're going to be sharing with you throughout this Sourcing Blueprint Mind Map and the series of these live videos, in order to add value to you, to help you go further, faster. You have to be teachable to get the value. And the last group of people this is not for, this will never ever be for, this is not for anyone who will not take action. If you are an action taker, just put AT in the chat, put the words AT in the chat, put the words AT in the chat, because action takers are money makers. If you haven't heard me say that before, that means you haven't been on one of our 5-day cash flow creation challenges. But I'm going to say it again, action takers are money makers. This is not for anyone who is not going to take action. Listen, if you find the key to your future, the key to your financial freedom, the key to spending more time with your grandchildren, the key to spending more time with your beautiful spouse inside of a more beautiful house, and you are not going to use this little key to open a big door, guys, let me tell you something. If you're not an action taker, this is not for you. But let me tell you who this is for. And hopefully I got some of these people on the live already, and hopefully we got some people like this who are jumping onto the replay. This is for those who are interested in creating sustainable wealth. This is what I mean when I talk about consistent and colossal cash flow. If you're someone who wants to build sustainable wealth, guess what? This content is for you. This is for those who have more sense than they have money. If you're one of those people who are highly intelligent and have just been waiting for the singular key to help you get free, then this is for you from me. This is for those who know that learning more helps earning more. If you're one of those people like myself who knows that every single time you've engaged with real valuable content, it's had an effect on your bank balance, then this, ladies and gentlemen, is for you. This is also for those who are teachable. This is also for those who will take action. And here's my favorite one. This is also for those who are ready to invest the time and resources for the results. You see, there are so many people who might be teachable and coachable, but when it comes to investing the time and resources, when it comes to just tuning into a live stream video, when it comes to just writing a comment, I want it, when it comes to some of the basics, listen, they're not ready to invest the time and resources for the results. If you've ever struggled with producing results in your future and in your past, I'm going to tell you the only reason why is because you haven't been committed to investing the time and resources for the results. So if you are someone who is ready to invest the time and resources for the results, this is the content for you. I might as well congratulate you already, because the results you're going to be able to achieve once you receive all of the information we are going to be breaking down is going to set you up. So a question you might be asking yourself right now in this introductory session is, what is the real reason you want to do property? You see, for some people, it's all about the money. And for some people, it's all about more money. So let's expand on this first one. You see, for most of us, it's about money. But I want you to understand, money is not something that people have studied. You see, most people say, oh, I want to get into property to make more money. But they've never even studied money to understand how money can flow to them. You see, money after all is called currency, just like a current, okay? So when we take an interest in the things which mean something to us, we actively do something about it. We don't just say, oh, I'm interested in more money, and don't take an interest. I want you to understand how this works, all right? You see, if this is of interest to you, guess what's going to happen? You are going to start to study it. And this is the reason why I want to create this content, because I want this content to be of value to you as someone who's studious, as someone who's teachable, as someone who desires to learn. I want you to think of your partner, all right? I've got a beautiful wife. I talk about her all the time. And I want you to think about when you and your partner first met, okay? Because if you think about when you and your partner first met, guess what? Interest introduces intimacy. Yep, that's a unique Samuel I Can Win a Kim Win quote. You can write that down, hashtag that, send that on Twitter. You can throw that on IG. Because interest introduces intimacy. Now, why am I sharing this? I'm so glad you asked. The reason I'm sharing this is because if you're truly interested in financial freedom through means of using property as a vehicle, guess what you're going to do? You're going to become intimate with learning, intimate with understanding, intimate with earning from property. Listen to this. Your initial interest introduced the opportunity for intimacy. You see, when I first met my beautiful wife, it's because I took an interest that a door opened for us to later become married and thus have intimacy. So why have many of us not become intimate with money? How comes many of us have not started to learn what money is all about and how money can help us to change things in our life? After all, some of you know this, some of you don't know this. I'm going to share it with you in a moment anyway. Simply put, we are not interested in money. You see, for some people who aren't producing results, this is the reason why. It's not someone else's fault. It's not the person down the road's fault. It's because, simply put, those people are not interested in money. As a result, we are interested in the value that it brings. You see, what people really want is the car. What people really want is the house. What people really want is the spouse. And they tell themselves they want money. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 19, a powerful verse in the Bible. It says, a feast is made for laughter and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things. What does this mean? This literally means that when you understand how money works, you'll stop chasing money because money isn't really what you desire. Money is going to answer whether you can have breakfast first thing in the morning. And it's not the money you want first thing in the morning, it's the breakfast you want first thing in the morning. So it's important to understand how money works. Here's an additional resource for those of you who write in the chat, I want it when we sort this out in order for you guys to get this resource. If you take this resource, you'll have a direct link right here. Let me see if I can open it up in a new tab. But you'll have a direct link right here to the Real Value of Money Impact Investing podcast episode. That's one of the episodes from our podcast where we literally broke down the real value for money. You can see that right here. So all of these resources, even this video, after this video is completed, we are going to be putting these resources and these videos inside of this mind map. So this mind map is going to have everything. Okay, it's not just going to have the notes that I'm sharing with you, the insights and the training. It's also going to have everything. All right, so this is the first thing I wanted us to discover about money and about the fact that most people are not actually interested in money, which is why they can't use money appropriately. Right now, let's talk about money a little bit more. Okay, do you know that more money could never buy wealth, and more money could never buy health, and more money could never buy relationships, not relationships that are of value anyway, right? So let me expand on one of these. Let's expand on the word wealth. You see, a definition of wealth, and this was actually created by Buckminster Fuller. Some of you may have heard of him, especially if you've read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, because he's quoted in that book. But he says wealth is a person's ability to survive X number of days forward. So the question you should be asking yourself is, how many number of days ahead of me can I survive based on the resources I currently have? That is a determination of your wealth. Why is that important? Let me share with you why it's important. This particular video, How the Rich Make Their Money, Learn How to Build Your Wealth Today, by Kim Kiyosaki, the wife of Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, is an extremely valuable video. And again, it's another resource that's tagged inside of this mind map for you guys to literally jump into that and get more value. So I want you guys to understand this. It's not about money. It's about wealth. It's about utilizing money to answer the questions that you have inside of your soul, inside of your heart, and make sure you can have the solutions to those situations. So not only what is the real reason you want to do property, let's go deeper into what is the biggest mistake of most property investors. You see, this is where the actual biggest mistake is rooted. It's rooted in the lack of property education. And the reason I say that is because we don't learn property investing in school. You see, most investing is learned from trial and terror. Okay, I know some of you have heard of the term trial and error. Trial and error is a ridiculous statement, because if you think about it, there's no such thing as trial and error, because error would assume that nobody's found a solution before you. And this is why I call it trial and terror, because if you are trialing stuff and you're going to have an erroneous result, You could have avoided that by simply finding someone who's already had that erroneous result before and learning from them, because they'll tell you, oh, you don't need to do that. That's just going to be trial and terror. You see, few people take the important step to get educated, and this is why I'm encouraging you and congratulating you for being on this live stream, because those of you on this live stream, what you are doing is you're getting educated so you don't go and make the same mistakes I made or the same mistakes any of the coaches, mentors, leaders I've ever had have made, and the same, you don't make the mistakes of people who you followed in the past have made. All right. So there is no formally agreed way to invest in property, and this is where the biggest mistake most people make in property is rooted. All right. So I'm going to share with you what is this big mistake, because it's not a major thing, but because people aren't educated on it, this is why people make this mistake. All right. So let's start with a simple question, and that question is, how many types of revenue can you make with property? If you know, just throw an answer in the chat. The number 1, 2, 10, 20, 140, wherever it is, let me know in the chat how many different types of revenue can you make in property, okay? Is the answer 1? Is the answer 2? Is the answer 3? Is the answer 7? Is the answer 12? The answer is not 1. The answer is not 2. The answer is not 7. And the answer is not 12. The answer is 3. So a great question would be, what are they? So let's look at what they are. The first one is cash flow. The second one is profit. And the third one is equity. Let's look at cash flow. Cash flow is consistent residual revenue. This is money that keeps on coming each and every single month. And like I said earlier, guys, if you're getting value from this, feel free to hit the share button so other people can get this same value. Here's a simple example of this. You see, if you buy a house for £100,000, and the costs and expenses are £5,000, all right? You see, the decision to rent is then made, and you have monthly expenses, and these are the monthly expenses that we're breaking down as an example. You have a monthly mortgage, let's say that's £250. You have building insurance, let's say that's £50 a month. You have other expenses, let's say that comes up to £100, and your total monthly expenses are £400. That's the 250 plus 50 plus 100, £400 total monthly expenses. Now, your monthly rent of £600 is achieved. So our cash flow is a £600 monthly rent minus the £400 are monthly expenses. So 600 minus 400 equals 200 per month. And this is the situation most human beings have, right? So let's go a bit deeper. If you're getting £200 per month over a year, that's £2,400 per year, but that's pre-tax revenue. That's before you pay tax. So that's subject to your tax predicament. Depending on what your tax situation is, that will determine how all of that will work out for you in terms of what you actually get to take home. So you can see from that example that the person was ending up with £200 cash flow. Let's look at profit and look at an example here, because profit is the positive difference between the price you sell and the cost to be able to sell. Let's look at an example of this. An example is you buy a house for £100,000. The cost and expenses are £5,000. You refurbish the property for £20,000. So your total cost to prepare the house for sale is £125,000 in the sake of this example. Now, you make the decision to sell. Your selling costs are £3,000. If you're in the USA, you're going to have a selling agent. You're going to have a closing agent, okay? If you're in the UK, you just have an estate agent if you're selling on the market. And let's say your selling costs are £3,000. Now, the total expenses to us are the £125,000 we've used to buy and get the property ready, as well as the £3,000 that we've used to sell as the selling cost. That's a total of £128,000, which is the cost to be able to sell. If someone's getting value from this content already, just write the word value in the chat so I know that you're getting some insights right here. Now, at £128,000, the cost to be able to sell, let's say we achieve a sell price of £160,000, okay? So let's do the basic maths. Our profit is going to be the sell price, £160,000, versus the investment, £128,000, and you can do that maths. £160,000 minus £128,000 equals £32,000. Now, similarly to the cash flow example, this £32,000 is pre-tax profit, which means again is subject to your tax predicament. If you are a lower rate taxpayer, you're going to have some tax situation. If you're a higher rate taxpayer, you're going to have another tax situation. I hope this is of value to somebody. I hope you guys are getting some insights as we break this all down. Okay, so that's the profit. Now, let's jump into the last of the three, which is known as equity. Equity is the difference between what you have paid and owe and the current value. Here's an example of this in order to break it down. Let's say you buy a house for £100,000. Let's say you pay a typical deposit of 25%, which will equal to £25,000 in this example. Let's say you obtain a typical mortgage of 75%. So the other 75,000 is paid from a mortgage. So a bank or a mortgage lender is giving you this money. Let's say the costs and expenses to buy the property are £5,000. That means your total cash import is your deposit plus your costs and expenses. The deposit is right here, £25,000, and your costs and expenses are right here, £5,000. So that leaves you £30,000 all in. Now, once you know that, let's say several years pass from the date you buy that property, and let's say the house increases in value and is now valued at £175,000. Okay, so a few years have gone past, it's now valued at £175,000. The difference between the initial purchase of £100,000 plus the fees and the current value is our equity. So what is our equity? Let's break it down. Our equity is £175,000, which is the purchase price and fees, £105,000, which is our purchase price and fees, and then we're going to see the difference of that. So that's 175,000, which is the new value, minus 105,000, which was our purchase price and fees, all equating to a £70,000 of equity added, right? Now, this is non-taxable as equity. I want you to say, I'm going to say that again, because this is a big difference between equity and profits and cash flow, okay? This is non-taxable as it is equity, okay? Because my definition is equity is money stuck in bricks, okay? Equity is money in the bricks. So if you're looking for a definition, write that down. Equity is money in the bricks, and you can write that down. Samuel Akanwin. All right, you can throw that up on Twitter so you can say you've got a bit of insight from that as well. Okay, so equity is money in the bricks. Now, why is this important? The reason this is important is because equity isn't taxable whilst it's stuck in a house because it's stuck in the bricks. Okay, so hopefully that helps you and that makes a lot of sense. And if you even pull equity out, 9 times out of 10, again, currently at the point of recording this video, it's not taxable because it's actually a loan. It's actually a debt. All right, now let's go into the last part of the introduction before we wrap this up for you guys to help you guys even further. So we asked, what is the big mistake? Let's start with a question. Now here's a real question. Did you know? Did you know because of the lack of formalization of these three revenue sources, the big mistake is always inevitable? You see, you're going to ask yourself right now, so Samuel, what is the big mistake? Here's the big mistake. It's attempting to generate all three revenues on each and every property deal you do going forward. And I see people do this again and again and again. Many people go on property courses or go to property networking events and they are told, buy below market value and lock in £50,000 at the point of purchase. And one day sell for a profit of £200,000 and make £1,000 every month whilst you're waiting. And the problem with that is they are basically teaching you, telling you, encouraging you to try and make all three at one. So this big mistake is simple. It's a lack of focus. So why does this matter to you? I hope you're asking. This matters to you because of a verse in the Bible, which is found in Proverbs 13 verse 12, which says that hope deferred makes the heart sick, but when desire comes, it is a tree of life. And you might be thinking to yourself, Samuel, what does that mean? Hope deferred makes the heart sick. It means when you hope to make money from property, but your hope is being deferred, you're not actually making money from property because you're lacking focus on the right thing, that's going to make your heart sick. And you may end up like many people I've met who say, oh, this property thing doesn't work, but it's not that the property thing doesn't work, it's just you haven't yet learned how to work it. But the part of the verse I love the most of Proverbs 13:12 is the last part. It says, but when the desire comes, it is a tree of life. The reason this is so important is when you do actually understand how to invest in property and you do start investing in property appropriately, guess what's going to happen? Property investing is going to be like a tree of life for you. It's going to start producing revenues and resources for you where you're going to be able to do things you never thought you could do before. So here's a quote from me to help you move further faster. It says, disappointment dilutes desire. Okay, I want you to write that down. Disappointment dilutes desire. You see, so many people have had their desires diluted from them because they've been disappointed. And the reason why I'm doing this training is because I don't want you to be disappointed with the disillusionment of how not to invest in property, but rather I want you to understand very clearly how property investing can be used to replace your income, just like how one of our students, Dwayne, who joined our 5-day cash flow creation challenge, was able to use property just from joining our 5-day challenge as a general participant, was able to use property to literally generate £1,733 and 33p every single month from the things, the strategies and resources that we showed him. And it's the same way that James, one of our other students who joined our program with 2 properties at the start of the program, generating him on average £600 maximum from both of those properties every single month, was able to start generating £4,500 to £5,000 every single month using the same properties. Okay, and I whisper that because some people won't believe it, but that's the reality. And it's the same way that so many of our other students have been able to magnify, catapult, and move to a whole nother level with their cash flow just simply by following the stuff I'm going to be sharing with you guys in these live stream videos. So if you got value from our introduction video today, that's video number 1. What I'm going to be sharing with you guys in our next video is how you can start to market. Then the video after that, how you will actually be able to manage. Then from there, we're going to talk about how you start to measure, and lastly, how you mature. And we may even do a separate session on all the additional resources we're going to be sharing with you guys from the sourcing blueprint mind map. If this has been valuable to you, let me just see the word value in the chat as we wrap up our first of our multiple live stream sessions where we're sharing with you guys the interactive blueprint that you need to succeed in your property investing journey. Now guys, look, I'm just going to say this to you. If you're someone who wants to move further faster in your property investment journey and you don't know how to, go and join one of our automated masterclasses on that link, impactproperties.co.uk/cashflow. That's impactproperties.co.uk/cashflow. And that's absolutely free for you to get exempt amounts of value so you can move further faster in your property investing journey. Now, with that being said, as I've shared, the masterclass is available for you guys. Go to the link, impactproperties.co.uk/cashflow. Take full advantage of that. If you haven't already hit that like button, you know what to do. Hit the like button. If you haven't already hit subscribe, you know what to do. Hit subscribe. So every single time we drop one of these live videos, you will get access to it straight away. And last but not least, if you have not thrown your comment in to let us know that you got value from this video, or to let us know I want it, if you want us to make available the sourcing blueprint mind map, not only so you will have this for yourself, but also so as we do these live streams, you can actually flow through them with us. And every single time we update this mind map with new information based on new legislation, you will have that coming to you with no hesitation, because it literally updates every single person's copy at the same time. All you have to do is write in the comments, I want it, whether that be on the live chat or whether that be on the replay. And in our next live stream video, we will literally share with you guys a link for you to be able to take advantage of that. Now, with that being said, it's about time that I love you guys and I leave you guys, and I'm going to hopefully receive you guys a whole nother time. Good day. God bless. Take care. And I'll see you guys on another video. Goodbye.